Well, Geoffrey Nice is a barrister and human rights lawyer who prosecuted Slobodan Milosevic at the Yugoslav tribunal. He explains why South Africa's case stands out in the history of international law.
The convention was signed in 48, became effective in 53. It's now 70 years, 75 years or whatever it is, since it became effective. And in that time, no great power has had the courage to do what South Africa is doing now, and what once before was done by an African country, the Gambia, in respect of Myanmar. Because what should be done is that whenever genocide is detected, any other party to the convention should deal with the matter by prevention, and prevention needs them to do something. The first thing they can do is take the matter to the International Court of Justice, as South Africa has done, to seek, in this case, first to seek protective measures, which means getting an order from the court that Israel should stop what it's doing. So it's not unprecedented, it's unusual, but it's only unusual because the great powers have refused, for their own reasons and probably for their own interests, to perform the undertaking that falls on them under Article 1 of the Convention and to deal with genocide as soon as they see it.
Well, Omer Bartov is a professor of Holocaust and Genocide Studies at Brown University. He joins us now from Cambridge in the UK. Thanks very much for being with us. So first of all, what do you make of this decision by South Africa to file this case against Israel in the International Court of Justice?
Well, I think as the previous person was saying, this is very unusual, but I think it's a very important move on the part of South Africa. My sense is that it may have two effects. One is that there will be an international body, a respected body, that will actually deliberate over this, because many people have been using the term genocide, not always accurately, to say whether they think what they're seeing on the ground is genocide. And the second is, I think that it will have an effect on the policy itself. That is, the very fact that it's come to the court may have an effect on Israel and on other countries putting pressure on it. So it seems to me, by and large, a rather positive step.
When you say it will have an effect on the policy itself, just expand on that. What do you mean by that?
Well, look, I mean, if the International Court of Justice rules that it is genocide, it offers any measures, then that would have to go to the Security Council. And in the Security Council, this would have to be debated. That is, this would become an international issue. So that would put pressure on the United States to clarify its position, and thereby would put pressure on Israel either to modify its policies or to, what I'm hoping, to actually begin talking about what is the next phase. Once the fighting ends, hopefully as soon as possible, what would be the next phase? So in that sense, it just could greatly increase pressure to change the course of things as they are happening right now.
Well, you just mentioned there that you hope the fighting will end as soon as possible, and there are many people who share that hope. But we've just been hearing from the Israeli Prime Minister within the last hour. He's given a televised speech in which he says that the war will go on, will likely go on for many months until Israel, in his eyes, achieves victory. So there doesn't seem to be much of a sentiment inside Israel for now for either wanting to bring this war to a halt or to bring it to another phase, as it were.
Well, I mean, if you follow the debate going on in Israel now, there's a little bit of double talk there, and that has to do not only with pressure from the United States, but also with the sense that the way operations are happening in Gaza from the point of view of the Israeli military right now is not very good. The IDF is sustaining daily losses and has not accomplished its two main goals, which was to remove Hamas and to free the hostages. And so it seems to me that as part of what Netanyahu is trying to suggest, and the chief of staff said similarly a couple of days ago, is to move on to what they call phase 3, which would actually be to reduce the number of troops on the ground and then to try and have more targeted operations directly aimed at the Hamas leaders as well as at freeing the hostages. Whether they can succeed in doing that or not is unclear, but if they removed the large numbers of troops that are on the ground there, they may actually reduce the number of Israeli casualties, please the Americans at least partially, and maybe actually have a more effective operation on the ground than simply bombing civilian centers without any clear military advantage to that.
We'll leave it there for now. Omer Bartov, appreciate your time. And I did mistakenly say that you were joining us from Cambridge in the UK. You are, of course, joining us from Cambridge, Massachusetts in the US. So apologies for that.
Thank you.